Ayan guys, what's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Ito ay isang pag-rant ng isang request ng aking isang subscriber, si Ma'am Charito Lumboy, isang teacher, nag-retire na yata sa Catbalogan Comprehensive National High School, na magturo ng Spanish. Kasi meron akong mga tutorials mga Spanish, pero dahil hindi ako masyadong marunong mag-Spanish, mas maganda yung pamangkin ko na nasa aking kanan, my niece, kasi talagang she can speak Spanish well. So later on we will speak English so that you would understand, lalong-lalo na mga hindi marunong magtagalog, so maintindihan din nila. What I'm saying guys, especially to those who are English speakers or other nationalities, I'm saying that we are teaching or we will share to you our knowledge in Spanish. And my niece, she can speak Spanish well, so we will teach you on how to understand Spanish. So, in the first place, ipapakilala ko muna ang aking pamangkin na si Danica.
Hola, mi nombre es Danica, tengo 20 años y soy la sobrina de él. Entonces, como mi tío estaba hablando acerca del español.
Yun, sa English, yan ang ibig sabihin.
Everything I said was all about introducing myself, that I am Danica, that I'm 26 years old, and that I'm his niece, and I speak Spanish. So, but first, let's start with a question: what is really Spanish? So, Spanish is a language that mostly we are all familiar with, because we know that 300 years before the Spanish came to our place.
500 years na.
500 years.
500 years now.
500 years now. So we all know, we are familiar with the Spanish that we know. So Spanish or Hispanohablantes are the people who speak Spanish. Hispanohablantes or Spanish speaking people. So most of the people that speak Spanish, not only in Spain but also in Latin America or South America. For example, in Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, Chile, Ecuador. So all of the countries in South America, and they are called Hispanohablantes.
Ayan guys, sa pagpapatuloy, and we are teaching you, and ang pamangkin ko na lang din ang mag-explain. I said to continue this video. I know there are other nationalities who are watching this video right now, and to those who want to study Spanish, and if you want to go to Spanish-speaking countries. And once again, my niece, she will also share her experiences. How did she learn Spanish?
Okay, so most of you will ask why Spanish and why I speak Spanish. So 3 years ago, I left Philippines and went to Peru, and then had a training and had an opportunity to serve and do a service to the people of Peru. And I had the opportunity to learn the language, which is Spanish in Peru. They speak Spanish there. So through the people, by listening to them and by talking to them, I was able to pick up the language. So it was actually 3 months before I actually understand the language, and another 3 months to actually speak the language. So it's fun to learn another language, but it's not easy. But you can actually learn something new, like speaking another language like Spanish.
So what are the things that you experience in Spain? Spain and Peru, since that Philippines, we think that we are also Spanish-speaking people, and we have Spanish words here. What is your experience in Peru about language?
So, well, the language didn't came as hard as you would think, because we have the similar words, like for example, familia o tenedor. They also use the same word, the same language. So I actually found out that there are many words in Filipino that you can actually find in Spanish language. So when I went to Peru and learned the language, it was not that hard for me. So there are some words that actually I realized when I came home that there's some words in Spanish that we speak here in the Philippines that are not actually the correct pronunciation or the correct spelling. So
the correct meaning.
Correct meaning of some of the Spanish words. So at this moment, I'm gonna teach you some few things about Spanish, about the language. But first thing, when you get to Spanish-speaking areas or places, there are a few important phrases that you need to know. For example, the word "cómo se dice," or in English, "how do you say?" How do you say in Espanol? Or "cómo se dice en Español?" Because that is the first thing that you would be able to know more about the language or to know more about the people. So if I say "cómo se dice mother in Español," and then people will be able to respond to you and say what it is in Spanish. That's how I learned in the beginning.
Ayan, shoutout sa nagpapanday sa kabila. Sa pagpapatuloy, ano ang how they construct Spanish sentences and how they differ from English and Tagalog.
Okay, so there's a different thing from Spanish to English, because in Spanish you don't literally translate English to Spanish, because the subject and the object in a sentence, in a Spanish sentence, is different.
Okay guys, to continue with this Spanish tutorial, we will ask my niece on how to understand Spanish. Ang basic guys na pag aral ng Spanish.
So, yeah, the most important thing in learning the language is to be able to learn the basic Spanish phrases. For example, to be able to greet people in Spanish, because mostly people in South America or in Spanish, they always greet people in the streets or wherever you are. You have to greet people because that is a sign of respect. So you have to say buenos dias. That means good morning. And then buenas tardes in English, good afternoon, and then buenas noches, which is in English, good evening. So those are the first three phrases that you would actually be able to learn in the first day being in a South American or in Spanish-speaking places, because people will have the great impression that you actually appreciate their culture by speaking their language. And then by greeting people, you can be able to introduce yourself, say your name, your age, or where you're from. For example, mi nombre es Danica, tengo 25 años y soy de Filipinas. So what I said was, I'm Danica, I'm 26 years old, and I'm from the Philippines. So those are the basic phrases that you can actually speak to people. You don't have to have a very deep conversation, but at least you can have a conversation with a few phrases to the people.
Ayan guys, para sa mga kababayan namin mga Pilipino, actually, may hablar Espanyol poquito, pero poquito lang talaga guys, konti lang. That is why I invited my niece to have this video para mas lalong maintindihan, kasi hindi ko kaya talaga ma-explain in Spanish, and limitado lang kasing aking knowledge sa Spanish. And to those who don't understand what I said I invited my niece to help me here, to assist me here on how to learn Spanish, because I have only limited Spanish skill. Ayan.
So today,
Ayan, to continue this discussion, my niece will introduce to you or explain to you how did she learn Spanish while she was in Peru. By the way, guys, my niece served as a missionary of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also popularly known as Latter-day Saints or LDS or the Mormon. But the proper way to call us is Latter-day Saint or LDS.
okay, so hello muna. Masaya po ako. I'm so happy to be able to share my experience with you guys. So it was 3 years ago. I remember sitting in the airplane, and there are so many Spanish-speaking people. I didn't know the language, but the first few things that I knew then was to greet people, which is good morning or good afternoon, which is buenos dias, buenas noches, buenas tardes. And I realized how much people were impressed with how we responded to them, how we greeted them. And I realized that the most important thing in being in another place or being in another country is by connecting with the people. And you can and you can connect with the people from other culture through their language. It's the most key point of being in another culture. You'll be able to appreciate their culture. So one thing I've learned, because I didn't speak the language so well, I started listening to the people. I listen to them, and when there's something that I understand, I would always have a very small note with me, and I would take notes of that, take down all the words that I understand, and then find the meaning and definition in the dictionary. So the most important thing is have a dictionary in your hand, which you can actually easily or quickly scan. So that's the first thing, is listen to the people, listen how they talk and how their accents are. So the second thing is to try to speak the language by saying the few basic words like good morning, buenos dias, buenas tardes, and that will start your learning in the language by able to greet people.
Paano ka yung libro na nabibili sa mga bookstores? Malaki ba ang tulong? In English, I said, how about those books in bookstores? Especially in the Philippines, we have here the National Bookstore, and we have here Rex Bookstore and the rest of the bookstores. Actually, bumili ako noon when I was in Manila and I applying for Qatar. I bought Spanish, English na libro, grammar. Malaki bang gamit doon sa pag-acquire ng Spanish language?
So, sabi nga ng uncle ko na bumili siya ng dictionary. So, dinala ko siya sa Peru, and then it was very useful to me because kasi doon talaga ako nag-aaral ng mga basic words or definition ng mga salita sa Spanish. So it was very useful to me to be able to learn some words. Like for example, the verbs is the most important thing. Be able to learn the verbs.
Mm-hmm.
Hola a todos, a la gente hispanohablantes que están allí en Latinoamérica o en España, donde se encuentra ahora. Les invitamos que inscribe a este canal YouTube de mi tío, y nosotros como hablamos diferente idioma como inglés, filipino, español, como yo hablo español, también si desea aprender otro idioma, yo puedo ayudarte, nosotros podemos ayudarte a aprender inglés, porque nosotros acá en mi país hablamos inglés, diferente idioma. Entonces, si quiere más si quiere saber más cosas de Filipinas, nosotros vamos a seguir haciendo videos para ustedes. Entonces, inscríbete abajo, haga un clic y síguelo.
Paano yun sa English para maintindihan din ng ibang English speaking people?
To the Spanish speaking people, it is an honor to be able to speak Spanish and be able to talk about your language and your culture. So I would like to invite you to subscribe in this channel. If you would like to learn another language like English, like we speak English here in the Philippines, we can actually help you learn this language. And if you want to know more about our country or the Philippines, we will continue to create videos. Just follow and click the link below.
Yan. So guys, maraming salamat guys. Ito yung palang pauna naming tawag nito video. I said in Tagalog. I will translate again in English. I said a while ago that this is just the starter for you to learn Spanish, and as well as to those Spanish people, if you want to learn English, we are also here to teach you. And sa mga Tagalog naman sinasabi ko, sa mga gusto ring matuto ng Spanish, pwede rin kayong mag-subscribe dito. So you will also ask or request lang kayo sa baba, mag-comment lang kayo. Para sa mga taong gusto talagang matuto ng Spanish, lalong na napupunta kayo ng mga Spanish-speaking countries, especially in United States of America. I know Spanish is the second language there, and if you want to learn more about Spanish language, you could also subscribe in my YouTube channel. Just share my video so that others also will know about the lessons that we are teaching here. So, maraming salamat. Thank you very much in Spanish.
Gracias muchísimas por estar en este video y esperamos que también estén, que sigue siguiendo en este canal.